I'm going to talk to you today about how you can actually live in Ireland for possibly lower taxes than what you'd pay in St. Kitts. Now, there's a couple of variables I want you to take in consideration when I'm giving you this information. And that is, first of all, I'm talking about people who are no longer U.S. citizens. They've relinquished their U.S. citizenship. Let's say a high tax country like Canada, places like Italy, high tax countries that tax worldwide income if you live there, that you have broken those tax ties where you don't live in those countries anymore and you've legally done what you're supposed to break away and not have to pay any taxes in that country anymore. Okay, so this is what I'm telling you is based on those factors. If you haven't done that, then these figures are going to be different, okay? All right, so this is how it works. Ireland has a real unique tax system. They've got a non-dom program, which I've gone through on other videos. But I'm going to tell you what I like about their non-dom program is the fact that with the current laws right now, there is no termination period when that non-dom status ends, okay? Like they do in the UK and Cyprus. Cyprus is roughly 17 years. The UK is roughly around 7 years, okay? Which means that, after that time period in Cyprus and the UK, you're going to have to start either moving out or either paying some tax there, okay? Now, what I'm talking about is if you want to get it close to zero, this is how you do it. Now, one way you can do this is, one problem that you have with the taxes on Social Security if you're living in St. Kitts is when the check comes to you, you're going to find out that the U.S. government doesn't have a treaty with U.S. in that you're going to have a 25.5% tax withheld from your Social Security check, okay? So now, only a percentage of your Social Security is taxed, but I'm giving you the total figure. It's 25.5%. All right, now if you move to Ireland, Ireland does have an agreement with the U.S. on Social Security, but this is the key. The tax is less. So assuming that you bring that money in for Social Security and you're living in Ireland and you're bringing that money in there, then you're not going to have a withholding tax. They're going to let you be taxed on Ireland's taxes, okay, which is actually going to be less than what you would have on a withholding tax. And also, there are ways that you can take deductions and possibly get that down to zero. Now, you might say, well, Ireland taxes worldwide income. Well, not if you're non-dom and you're not bringing the money in. And I've had other videos on how you can actually bring money in Ireland and not be taxed on it, okay? You have to look at that video that I've done on that. I've got actually several videos explaining how that works. So one thing you can do, which I'll just tell you off the bat, and it's been in other videos too, is, try to get across here so I don't break my neck, is you can actually bring money over to Ireland and set up a residency before, get the residency set up, but before you get it set up, get a bank account set up and bring money in, maybe $300,000, because that's not included in taxable income if it's set up before the residency begins. All right, then not only can you live on that and not be taxed on it because you brought it in before you establish the residency, another thing you can do too is you can live off your Social Security, because if you're living in St. Kitts, you're going to be taxed on it. There's no way you can get around it. That withholding tax you cannot apply. There's no way you can get it out. It's gone, okay? If you go to a place like Ireland, that treaty allows you to get the money and be taxed in Ireland. So now what you're doing, you can take certain type of deductions and get that possibly down to zero that you would not be able to do in St. Kitts, okay? And depending on if you can live strictly on Social Security, or it depends on how of a lifestyle you live. But even if you can't live on Social Security, you can still get your taxes down lower because of the fact you're not losing that amount of money unless you're bringing in tons of money. If you're bringing in tons of money to Ireland, first of all, if you're going to be doing that, wouldn't move to Ireland anyway, okay? But I'm just telling you, for people that are pretty good with their finances and they can get it down, you can literally possibly live in Ireland with less taxes than you could in St. Kitts because of those factors. Also, folks, if you want to legally get your income taxes to zero, or how to get a second passport as quick as 45 days, do 3 things. Hit the subscribe button at the right of your screen. You'll get new videos automatically as they come out. And number 2 is I would like to hear from you. If you got a question or comment, just put it below. And number 3 is go to our website, www.citizenshipquickly.com, and just ask for some help. So I've given you some tips here, literally where you can pay less in taxes in Ireland than you can in St. Kitts if you're getting Social Security. Now, one thing about St. Kitts, you can bring in as much as you want in St. Kitts and not have to pay any taxes on bringing that money in like you would in Ireland. Now, there are ways, like I've got on other videos, I'm not going to go through that today, where you can bring money in that's outside the country in Ireland and still not pay taxes on the money. You have to look at those videos I've got on that. But I'm going to tell you as a whole, if you watch what you're doing, you can literally, especially if you're getting Social Security, you can pay less taxes in Ireland than you do in St. Kitts. Now, there are a couple other things I need to bring out. That is the fact that if you're going to have to put up with the weather in Ireland too. Before you do it, I would go and live in Ireland for a couple of months and go there in wintertime. Don't just go in the summer, but I'm going to tell you something. It's freaking cold in the summer. You're going to have to wear a ski jacket sometimes in the summertime there. It's never hot there, okay? So if you like a tropical climate and you can't live in cold, wet, rainy weather, because that's what you're going to get there, okay? And that's one reason, if I went there, I would go there part of the year. But I'm going to tell you the main reason I would even consider it. They got a fantastic passport, folks. It's one of the best in the world. And you can go to almost every place with an Ireland passport. And we're talking about the Republic of Ireland, not Northern Ireland, part of the UK, okay? So there are two, Ireland there's 2 parts. And we're talking about the Republic of Ireland. And that's the one that has the unlimited number of years for non-dom status. The Northern Ireland does not, it's part of the UK. You got the 7-year program of non-dom status, and then after that you're going to have to start paying taxes there or either leave. And one thing that did come out in a video, and it's totally wrong, is a guy had mentioned that when you get citizenship in Ireland you lose that non-dom status, and that is wrong. As long as you were not born in Ireland, okay, if you're born, that's going to be your domicile, I can tell you. We're talking about someone that's a foreigner that came in, got citizenship, kept his other passport. You did not relinquish your other passport. Let's say it's St. Kitts. Let's say you leave the U.S., you relinquish your U.S. citizenship, you get citizenship in St. Kitts. That's your domicile, okay? Now, you weren't born in St. Kitts, let's say, but you got that passport before you went to Ireland, and that's your domicile. Now, you're going to have to do things, and I've put that in other videos. I'm not going to do that to tell you today. But there's a checklist of things that you need to do, including how you do your will. So when you die, they're not going to think that your domicile is, people need to know that where you got that other passport and where you want to get buried and what is your will state. We've got other videos, you can look at that. But if you don't do that, you can screw up a lot. And I would try to get some good help. We've got people we work with on that can get you established there if you want that non-dom status. But you need to know what you're doing when you do this, because you can really screw up your estate planning if you don't do it correctly, okay? But Ireland does have a lot of good sound benefits to it. Anyway, if you want to learn more on this, go to our website, www.citizenshipquickly.com. just ask for some help. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button. We got over 700, almost 800 videos talking about this and other things that really save you a lot of money on your taxes and help you before you make a move internationally and end up wasting a lot of money. And again, our website, www.citizenshipquickly.com. And I look forward to talking to you in the next video. Take care.